So there's a market for smaller smartphones. Not everybody want a big smartphone. And as you know, I'm a huge fan of Unihertz. They drop a bunch of smartphones every year, from big battery smartphones with projectors to small compact phones like the Atom, the Jelly Star, and now the new Tank Mini. So in this video, I'm going to compare the Tank Mini and the Jelly Star, and which one I would pick in this comparison. So let's have some fun. Sit back, relax, and get your popcorn ready and follow me on this journey. Let's go. What's up, guys? This is Zach back with another video. So before I talk about both of these devices, let's start off with my conclusion right from the start. Let's start off with the conclusion, my ultimate pick, right? And that will be the Tank Mini. I'm gonna give you 4 reasons why I will pick the Tank Mini over the Jelly Star. First, the build quality. I would have no worries breaking this device if it falls because it's super rugged, right? The design is just solid. So that's one reason. The second reason is performance. Look, even though both of these devices share the same CPU, the Tank Mini has 12 gigs of RAM, which wins in multitasking, especially in the performance department. Now, the Jelly Star has 8 gigs of RAM. So for me, the Tank Mini is the winner when it comes down to performance. The third reason is battery life. The Tank Mini has a 5800 milliamp battery compared to the Jelly Star 2000 milliamp battery. Now the Tank Mini has excellent battery life. So yes, that's a win. And lastly, the display size. Look, the Tank Mini has a 4.3-inch display compared to a 3-inch on the Jelly Star. So it's much bigger and I like the bigger display on the Tank Mini. So that's my conclusion overall with both of these devices. But let's talk some more and get in some details about the Jelly Star and the Tank Mini 1. So let's go. So the Tank Mini 8849 has a 4.3-inch display. It's rocking the MTG99 processor with 12 gigs of RAM. It has 256 gigs of storage, SD card support. Now on the rear, as far as cameras, it's rocking a 100 megapixel camera. Now on the front, it's rocking a 32 megapixel camera. Now battery life on this device has a 5800 milliamp battery, rocking Android 13. Now you got all the bells and whistles with this device, such as camping light, IP68 rating, dual SIM support, Bluetooth 5.3, NFC, headphone jack, a 33-watt fast charger. Also, you have IR blaster, a range finder, and a fingerprint scanner. Now, this device is running 4G LTE, unfortunately, but these are the specs of the Mini. Now, the Jelly Star has a 3.03-inch display. It's rocking the G99 processor with 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, SD card support. It's also have dual SIM support. Now, as far as cameras, it's rocking a 48 megapixel rear camera and an 8 megapixel front camera. Now, battery life on the Jelly Star is a 2000 milliamp battery, and it's rocking Android 13 to boot. Now, it also has all the bells and whistles, such as NFC, a fingerprint scanner, and more. So those are the specs of the Jelly Star. So when it comes down to the specs, the Tank Mini edge out a little bit over the Jelly Star, right? So who's the Jelly Star for, right? This device is made for somebody that want a very compact phone, like a first child's phone, or a person that just want a smartphone just because they want it as a secondary phone, right? It has the power to get the job done. It's no slouch. And you know what? Yes, you can play games on the Jelly Star. Yes, you can watch movies and videos on the Jelly Star. The 3-inch display makes it a little difficult. And plus the bezels on the Jelly Star just a little big. But yes, it's a very small compact device. So that's what this device is made for. This is who this device is made for. So the Tank Mini is a different story. It's not the lightest, it's not the thinnest device, but it's great for outdoor use. Look, I remember when I worked for AT&T doing a lot of outside work, and I didn't want to carry a big, expensive flagship. They kind of gave us iPhones with these huge outer boxes on them, but this would have been nice. Look, I needed a rugged device for all kinds of things that I was doing in outdoor, situations. I remember when I was running wires underneath homes in a dark environment. Look, a huge bright light that's on the Tank Mini would have been clutch in that situation. Or when I was working long shifts, right, and I couldn't charge my phone. You know what? The Tank Mini would get me through the whole day, plus battery to spare. And lastly, when I was working in the rain, and I would have no problems using the Tank Mini, knowing that it would just be, it'd be fine working in the rain in rugged conditions. So that's who the Tank Mini is for. The person that needs a small, rugged device that can survive all elements of nature. Okay, so let's talk about the price. The Jelly Star comes in at $220 for 256 gigs of storage and 8 gigs of RAM. And the Tank Mini comes in at $271 for 256 gigs of storage, 12 gigs of RAM. Now, the prices on both of these devices won't break the bank. And you have SD card support and dual SIM support on both devices. Unfortunately, both of them are 4G devices, but for the price point, it won't break the bank. Okay, so let's talk about these cameras on both of these devices. And if you know anything about Unihertz, you already know the camera system on any of their devices is not their specialty. It's not going to be groundbreaking. It'll get the job done, but you don't have optical image stabilization. You won't have, all this high-end camera features on Unihertz devices. But you know what? Let me show you some camera footage and let you be the judge for yourself. So check this out.
The Chosen.
Okay, so let's talk about the pros and cons on both of these devices. Let's talk about the Tank Mini pros. First, the build quality. Look, this device will keep you at ease, knowing that if you drop it, there will be no worries breaking it, right? Because it is built like a tank. That's why they call it a tank, because it's built like one. So that is a pro. Next, the battery life. 5,800 milliamp battery can last all day with no problem. I cannot kill this device in one day, so you definitely will get a long life of battery on this device, and that is a pro. And lastly, outdoor features such as the camping light, compass, rangefinder, the power bank, right, that you can do reverse charging and all kinds of stuff like that and more. I got a full video on my YouTube channel. So that is a pro with the Unihertz tank, right? That it has all the features you need to get the job done in outdoor situations. Okay, so with all that said, let's talk about the cons. First, software support. As I've been talking about this in every Unihertz video, these devices is one and done when it comes down to software support, and that's unfortunate. Because Unihertz need to do a better job with software. Next, the Tank Mini is only a 4G phone. Now, come on, we're in 2024. Look, we are beyond 4G, and that is a con. Unihertz should put 5G on the devices, but the Unihertz Tank Mini is a 4G device. Now, the Tank 3 Pro is a 5G device, right, along with the Tank 3, but the Mini It's only a 4G GSM device. Just so you know, that's a huge con and maybe a deal breaker for most people. And the last con is the weight. Look, the Unihertz tank has a 5800 milliamp battery, but they got gaming phones out there that's 6000 milliamp batteries, and they're not big, bulky, and heavy. So this device should be a bit slimmer, a bit lighter, especially with the battery size that this device has. So Unihertz ought to do something different as far as their mini devices, make them slim. So that is the pros and cons with the Unihertz Tank Mini. So let's talk about the pros and cons of the Jelly Star. Let's talk about the pros. First, it's small, it's compact, which is great for the person that's looking for a small size phone. This phone is great for that. Next, let's talk about the lights on the back. It's great for notifications, it's great for a flashlight, and I really do like it. You can have fun with the lights on the back. And lastly, the price. $219 is almost a steal for a great performant device with great battery life and great specs. So that is a good thing. But let's talk about the cons of the Jelly Star. Software support. Again, this device is one and done. Unfortunately, software support is one and done on most Unihertz devices. Next, the Jelly Star, again, is only a 4G phone. And again, we are in 2024. We should be beyond 4G phones. And that is a con and maybe a deal breaker for a lot of people. And lastly, the size. This phone is thick and it only have a 2000 milliamp battery. So there's no way that this phone should be this thick. You know, Unihertz ought to do something about these thick phones with, these size batteries. Even though it's small and compact, it's still a thick device, even though it's small. So Unihertz ought to do something about that. Because think about it, a 2000 milliamp battery in this device, and it's very thick, and it shouldn't be thick. So that's the pros and cons of the Unihertz Tank Mini and the Unihertz Jelly Star. If you want to see more Unihertz Tank videos or any other tech toys, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. This is the Tech Preacher. See you guys on the next video. Leave your comments. Let's have a discussion about the Tank Mini and the Jelly Star. Which one would you pick? Let's have a conversation in the comments. This is Eric. See you guys on the next video. Peace.